This is your daily market recap for Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Tuesday. Turnaround Tuesday potentially for oil and names. May 17th, 2022. Let's get into it. Again, if you are newer to this channel, you're newer to trading, newer to anything that might be a little different than what you're used to when it comes to guidance for trading or insight for the markets, please check out the Discord room. The link is in the description below. Promise you we're continuously updating the markets and paying attention to what's going on as the day goes on. Hopefully giving great insight to how and when to trade, what to look for in the markets, and hopefully being on the right side of destiny. Ultimately, we are a probability-based mindset trading forum where, again, there's no such thing as certainty. We don't YOLO, we don't gamble, we don't sit around and try to promise people things that we don't know for certain or not doing ourselves. Meaning, if I am recommending a trade, I am absolutely doing it myself. And I will show you why and how and ultimately what we do to layer in, layer out, and execute trading. Again, a lot of people don't realize in trading, they might be doing one thing incorrectly that is messing them up, and they are literally so close to being successful that all they need to do is tweak one part of their entry, exits, or mentality. And honestly, I've been there before and I've made every mistake, so I understand how that works. So let's get into that. Again, check out the Discord room. Link is in the description below. Slap a like if you really enjoy this video. Please subscribe. The general gist to YouTube channels. Bitcoin, we have said this about a half a dozen times over the last week, because this is the daily chart. You need to get away from the lows at 30,000. If not, this does not look good for bulls on Bitcoin. I mean, you want to see this kind of action. I've pointed this out. Like, you want to see this doink bounce. Now, maybe this is very similar to, gosh, it's crazy how May 17th it bottomed, May 12th it bottomed. Maybe this is just a big chop zone for Bitcoin. I don't know. But you definitely don't want to, you don't want to stay down here. You want to see the bullish action turn into bullish action. On that note, it just is what it is. I mean, have your stops. I don't trust Bitcoin, not for the near term. I don't know about the long term. I really don't believe in anything certainty over time because trends change, things change, and I don't know who the winning coin is going to be. TLT, we said this a million times. We don't believe in V bottoms. Looking more at a W. Talked about the 20-day and old channel lows failed. Look what happened. You backed off. All right, Cat, you're purring way too loud. Just be aware. 112, 113, you see that price handle, check the monthly. There's a reason. It's a double bottom potentially. It's a big volume at price down here in the 112, 113 range. I like it. I think you got to be, what's the word? Just kind of be patient yet smart. Definitely just be aware. Again, as TLT plays out, the markets, we've said this first. We thought bond market would bottom first, oil would top next, and then the markets will roll over for the next wave to capitulate. We are in the bounce zone for the market. The dollar, I mean, it's in an uptrend, but doesn't mean every day is up. This monthly action is rather interesting because, again, it is the middle of the month. We do not know how it's going to play out, but one of the things we will be watching for is how we hold up here. Now, again, 20-day, not even really 20. It looks like more like the 100-day has been support, but the 100 days a mile away. So at this point, I would just warn people, if you were long dollar, what's the best way to describe it? You should have been taking profit as we broke out of the channel to the upside, but also too, I mean, you can have some. It's like me. I've got some Apple and AMD short that I've got from the highs. I've pared it down tremendously, obviously, but I have a third of it left, and I will continue to ride it because I think the trend is not up for those names. So it doesn't necessarily mean there can be weeks or months against a trend, and you can keep some short, or you keep some long if it's the dollar. VIX, we've talked about this, I don't know, about 1,000 times. 1,000 times maybe, I don't know. VIX during options expiration is meant to be terminated. VIX termination, as Arnold would call it. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, we said mid-20s. Well, here you go. You're there. Now, again, keep in mind, why did we call for that? Well, if you can't break above it and the SPY hit its channel lows, which we talked about, again, if you are newer to the channel, we are nailing some of this stuff. Now, again, I'm not bullish long-term nor trading up honestly. But I mean, it wasn't that you couldn't play it. There's plenty of people in the Discord room who have their own brains and can think, and hopefully they do. And again, I don't want to argue that you can't trade the market. Trust me, I believe in it fully that you can. But what do you expect then? Extermination. Okay, we'll pull back now. What does the Stock Traders Almanac say for the rest of the week? Oh, you don't know? Well, let me pull that up for you, because that's what we have for you. And it's somewhere up here. Just give me a second, because I just doing this on the fly. But if you're, again, this is the kind of stuff we drop in to the room constantly. Where is it? Has it been that? Did it take that long? Did I post that hours ago? I apologize for scrolling through here. Usually I don't. I have the stuff lined right up. It's not showing, so let's go to let's go to Twitter. I know I have it on my Twitter page. Again, if you're new to the channel, check out all of the different outlets for, again, I keep people posted on what I'm up to on Twitter. Where is the Traders Almanac? Where did I put it? And here we go. If you're not familiar with the Stock Traders Almanac, the link is in the YouTube channel. Make a purchase of this thing. It is awesome. Now, again, it doesn't say every day is going to happen perfectly, but notice the week. 2 bullish days, followed by 3 bearish days. I think so far they've been right. 2 bullish days. Everyone's calling for 410 on the SPY. Do we see 410? I don't know. I absolutely don't know. But let's go back to where we're at. The VIX at the range lows, 6 straight days down. I think it's possible that the market starts to roll over shortly. Let's get into the SPY then. Why would we say that, Dan? Well, look at the doji. Look at the another doji. Now again, no guarantees. Everybody's saying 410, 411, like the old lows. We are close enough for government work. But does that necessarily mean it's going to happen? Don't know. Now, keep in mind, the volume is dying. I'm trying to explain to people what's going on. This is not a bull market kind of action. Like, coming off the lows in a bull market, you should see, like, expanding volume. Where's a good example of, like, a real decent correction? We haven't had one in so long. It's like you don't even know what they look like. Here you go. You got some, like, nice green volume upper bars. I mean, that wasn't even really that much of a correction. Here you go. At the lows, you had, like, really nice, here's COVID. I mean, you had really nice, like, green bars pulling up. Like, you had, like, legitimate capitulation. Now, that's another thing we talk about we haven't seen with the VIX. So, where are we at now with the SPY? I mean, again, I think you got to be careful. Either way, I've said this over the weekend recap. I've said this about a dozen times going into this week. Please, trade extremes. Do not get complacent. If you buy something at a low and it pops whatever percentage points, take the money. Can you short it right away? You know, I think you can, ultimately, if you want to. Or you just take the money and you watch. Because, again, we don't know what tomorrow's action is going to bring. But we know it's ChopX. We know it's OpEx. We know there's going to be up and down. Get into the Qs, because this is the biggest beneficiary of the rates going lower long term. Oversold. However, please do not get it twisted. This is the first time literally since, wow, I mean 2008. Keep it, so here, this is where you guys need to see this, the 20-month. The 20-month, once the 20-month breaks, because you really can never get back above it. It fails, boom. Well, what have we gone here? So since 2009 in the lows, this has held the 20-month. You had to look below it, pop back. You had to look below it, pop back. Where are we at now? Oh my God, you don't realize how stretched this thing is unless you look. Well, now you've got some close below it. You've got a month close below it. You had multiple tests of it. You tested the backside of this channel. I don't think there's much upside in the Qs. Now, again, doesn't mean it can't like run up to 315 or something real quick. I just don't think the market's bullish. This is the first time in the whole trend of the trend that you've been under the 20-month and sustained. That's telling me that there's more bearishness to come. Now, if you can't see that and you think that the market is bottomed, ask yourself, what's the market have to look forward to going? You know, like, what's the anticipation? What's so exciting about this market? Higher interest rates, higher unemployment, inflation that has to be cooled off. I just don't see it. Now, again, here we go. IWM, same thing. We expected some bounces. You're back. You held the 2018 and COVID highs from 2020. Nice little bounce. Not, and again, I'm a bear, but I'm not a 365 day a year kind of guy that's bearish. I just don't, I know how the market works. You see this action. This is all a trend, but notice what happens. You got ups and downs. So what are we at? Oversold, near term, bouncing. It's really not that hard. All right. Powell came out today and said what? Two more 50 basis point rate hikes going into the next two meetings. Hey, gold friends, you if you know me, you know me. I love the stuff long term, but guess what? Just don't buy it. I'm telling you. Like, look at all the people who are continuously bullish on stock twits, Twitter, Wall Street bets. I mean, I don't know how to explain to them that once the capitulation happens, then you buy metals. Well, what's a capitulation? It's when the market pukes and everything gets thrown out with it. Now, hey, I see 2 green days, Dan. I see 2 green days. It's time to buy. All right. I'm not, but it doesn't mean it can't bounce a couple points, but I'm not. I have no interest because, again, I've said this a bazillion times. If the capitulation is going to play out, it seems rather obvious where the downside is. It's going to be down here, like the 159, 161, maybe even like if you get a real blowout, could it get even lower than that? I think that's very, very much possible. Silver, it's literally the same thing. Leave it alone. I like it here. I love it. This is my no-brainer buy zone during the bull market of the stocks. It bounced each time, bounced each time, bounced each time, bounced each time. Well, now you're below it. Now, what does that mean? Just leave it alone. I've said this now and again, and I'll say it in every video until people, because again, this stuff is that important for my bull friends, because I don't think they just need to hear it over and over. The best moves in silver is when you have a chop zone and then you have a bear trap. Bear trap means you go lower before you go higher. Chop, 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 wham, down and pop. We're not really in that down position. I know you could argue that we kind of are, but I'm gonna be late on this because I know this is a different time. Why? Because of the Feds. If you're not familiar with what's going on in the markets, you're missing out. So again, GDX, same thing. We're gonna go through all the miners real quick. Leave them alone. I like them, but not here, not now. I just don't. Not now. Seasonality. Q2 is absolutely dog poo for the metals. Same thing with GDXJ. I mean, these are all great price ranges. If you have to trade it, scalp it, go right ahead, but do not marry it. Please do not marry these trades, because you're probably going to get lower lows at some point or a retest. AG, same thing. Love this thing. Want to see it lower. AEM, love the stock. Think they're doing great. Their earnings were amazing. Look at this pop and then flop. Somewhere in the 40s would be ideal. This company, I've been buying this just to feeler bet this because I don't know why I'm even owning it at this point. I don't see it in my accounts every day. It's in the IRA. Bought some at 570. I like this company long term. Look at the monthly. This is the only reason I'm buying it in the 5s. I think it holds here. If not, blue zone, 3s, gift from the gods. PAAS, PAAS, same kind of thing. Like the company, waiting for it to drop, and it's a drop. Well, what if it gets back down to channel lows? Oh my gosh! Please study the past videos. Please just be aware. Like we talked about Newmont being a top. Look at that M, and then I don't like Newmont, but anyway. You just got to be aware that the metals aren't going to bottom when everyone's cheerleading. I've never seen that. I've been trading metals for 20 years, and the best bottoms are when what? Everybody gives up. Everybody gives up. Oh, Bitcoin's the future. Metals are crap. Don't buy them. Yada, yada, yada. Leave it alone. Metals this, metal. No, everybody, like, I continuously retweet these tweets for people to see, like, the sentiment. Like, there's literally gurus who have thousands of people following that. All they do is say every day, hey, you got to buy gold. You got to buy gold. You got to buy silver. You got to buy silver. You got to buy miners. You got to buy miners. You got to buy uranium. That's the next one. You got to buy. No. Again, not every day is going to be a down day, but every day ending in DAY is not a buy. United States Steel. We talked about it emming topping. We talked about the 200 month. This was a great trade. We got in here at basically the 20 month at around 18 and rode it up to 38. We called our shots. We got out. Look what happened. Failed. VALE, another company, like it. It's not there yet. I don't know what the lows are. People go, Dan, when are we again? When is it going to capitulate? When's the market going to puke? That's when you do it. That's literally the time. We haven't puked. The market had this nice, like, slow, like, exhaustion sell-off. pulling back. Now what? Oh, VALE's at the 20-day? I don't know. 20-day's curling down. It's probably going to act as resistance really there. I mean, you probably could have shorted this if you really wanted to. The 200-day, look at that. That's a big problem for VALE. CCJ, oh my God, it hit the channel low, Dan. You didn't buy it. You're missing out. Nah, I'm not really too worried about it. Just not that concerned about it because what do I know? I called the top, called the bottom. Well, guess what? I mean, this is a straight line move. Of course it's going to bounce. What I would like it to do is exactly what it's done before. You pop, you blow out, and then you come back. Meaning come back, here's that low, and then another low. A little lower low, and then boom. Two down months is just not, that's just not enough. Sometimes you need 3. I mean, I'm trying to explain to people, everything's repeating patterns, and they're like, how did you know to get out? Well, volume at price. Support equals resistance, 50% fib. What if it gets back to the 20-month? Oh my God, it would be a steal at 19 or 20. Now again, if you ask me again, when are we going to get in? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you this all day, every day. Wait for capitulation. Just wait for it. If you can't wait for it, be careful. The market can go a lot lower than you think when things are puking. Like people are, I mean, I've posted this in, let me just show, sorry to interrupt. You need to see this. Let's go to the Discord room. Let's go to the Devil's Advocate Lounge. This is where people go to post stuff that they're like, oh, I don't know if that's going to happen. Margin debt. Look where we're at. This is the margin debt in the market. Billions, trillions of dollars. Not good. Here's the potential for, oh God, I wish you could open this. See it bigger. That's potential if this ends up turning into like a real recession. Showed people here, like this is the 2000s when tech topped. Look what happened. Oil, gold, they went nowhere for a little bit. They chopped out, leading to a big run. That's probably what's going to happen, y'all. And so what does that mean ultimately again? Patience. Materials, love Mosaic. Oh gosh, it broke the trend. 50-day, 20-day. Look at the wick. I'm not interested. Again, CF. Hey, it's nice to see it at the highs. Not interested. I mean, it's just is what it is. Let's get into tech because we expected a bounce. We absolutely expected a bounce. 50-day, talked about shorting it there. Well, guess what? You had some decent volume. You had a monster upgrade from Piper Sandler, who I consider more like the Piper to the Guppies and sandbagging brokerage group. Well, what now? Well, if you need to, look for the channel. I mean, again, there's a lot of places to short this and layering in and layering out. We talk about this all the time. Like, I had some people shorting this, and then they layered out, and they saw this, and then boom, shorted again. Well, all right, here's the bounce. 50-day was your entry, whatever. And if you needed to, you stopped out. Or you start layering in, and you do 200 shares, then another 200, and then you kind of watch what's happening. If you need to stop out, you stop out. I mean, again, Apple. I mean, I screened this. It's on Twitter. I mean, covering at the lows and looking for the bounce. Where's the bounce zone? 150. I know there's a lot of lines, but let's just watch the zone here. That's the first major short zone. Facebook. Oh my gosh, Dan. You liked it as a short and it's bouncing. Yeah. Now what? I mean, watch the levels. 208. I mean, maybe I'll zoom this open for you, but just watch the 50-day. Watch. I mean, again, let's draw a channel within the channel, right? Like, what if it's this? I don't know. What if you just need to wait for the channel, like this little pennant to break? I know this is like sloppy and annoying, but that's the markets. Like, you have to know that the QQQ needs to top before all of these fail. Well, are the QQQs at a fail point? I don't know. But the Stock Traders Almanac said if you took a short today, maybe not a bad idea. Let's see how it plays out. Tomorrow's, well, I mean, yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. We always do. No, you just don't ever feel like you're left alone. Like, if you really want help, there's somebody answering the phone. Roblox, what do we say? If it can hold the 20-day, get in the 50-day, volume at the bottom. We talked about it was a great, absolutely great scalp. Tesla, this is a stock that is broken technically. We warned people. I literally did a video on this, that this is that's the blow off top. Nice channel, blow off top. Now what? Now you have like this wide and sloppy down channel. I mean, I've got so many lines on here that don't really clearly matter. I mean, I don't know. You talk to people about this stock and they go, they love it or they hate it, and I leave it alone. I mean, I think the up move is toast, and where is the? I mean, I would short major pops, and we've talked about that. We talked about that pop. Talked about this pop was like literally the gift from the gods. Talked about maybe popping off the double bottom. At this point, do you want to gamble on it and trade it? Go right ahead. But I just think there's a billion other trades in the materials names that are lining up way better long term. EXPI, here's an example of fundamentals are great, but the stock action is crap. I mean, literally, we are beating down the doors on everyone else in real estate with our techniques, our virtual business stuff, everything in the cloud, reduced costs for agents. More agents get more of their commissions. I mean, everybody's coming to EXP. Can't get over the 20-day. I mean, I just don't know what to tell you. I mean, I like it long term, but it doesn't mean it has to go higher. This tough is hilarious. What have I said about this company? I think it gets bought out. Nice little double bottom. Nice little double bottom. Watch what happens in the 190s. Probably gets up to 203. Let's end it on oil as we always do, because this is where the magic happened today. I tell people all the time, like, I'm not always right away, but I do have a good sense of what the hell's going on. Talked about like this back test of this channel. I mean, I started shorting literally right here, and then I stopped, and then I added on the gap. And what did I say? Gap and trap, gap and trap, gap and trap, gap and trap, gap and trap. Now, what happened today in the oil market? Feds, I've said this a bazillion times. This is why I think the market could rally and oil drop. The Feds have to absolutely destroy oil if they're going to have any chance of eradicating inflation. Well, guess what? Guess who controls the futures market and the CME and that has great banking strategies that can knock down gold and silver? Do you not think they can go after oil? Hello? Absolutely. And we've talked about this on the 10-minute. There was like very obvious distribution. This candle was super tight. Red flag yesterday. Talked about the red flag at the close there. Let me just zoom it in. See, anomaly, tight candle, too small, way too big a volume. Same thing at the close. Let's just go back in the time machines. At the highs, talked about this candle was a major distribution candle. Remember, what's volume price analysis say? When you have monster volume in tight price action, that is stopping power. Someone was stopping the up move. Now, again, doesn't mean it has to play out today or tomorrow. But look at that. As Hayode would call this railroad tracks, I would call this tweezer top. I'd also call it a little bit of an outside reversal day because you made a higher high, but you didn't really technically make a lower low. Does it matter? No. No, it doesn't. We were expecting a bearish move at some point, were we not? If you're not a part of the Discord room, I hope you are, because I mean, I literally sat here today and did nothing other than add a little bit of drip. And I just told myself, I'm like, this action isn't telling me anything. Like, if I see a confirmed breakout with volume, I'll get excited and have to close. Not get excited. I'll be happy for the bulls and have to close out. Nothing said that today. Well, guess what? The market clearly was waiting for Mr. Powell. And look at that. Open high, close low. Bearish. Bearish, bearish. Now, it doesn't mean it can't do this tomorrow and then come down. This is OPEX. It's going to be wide and loose. It said play the extremes. What does that mean for then, say, ExxonMobil? And we've said this, like people are going, oh, hey, but look at oil service. It's doing really well, Dan. It's doing really well. Did anyone else come by the Discord room and look at all the 13Fs showing like a few hedge funds and institutions bought oil names? They bought that in probably February. What do you think they're doing now? Like, do the math. Like, think about it. They bought ExxonMobil. They bought in the 70s, up in the 90s. With the oil position that it is, they're probably hedging. Someone said, hey, can I short ExxonMobil today? I think you absolutely can. Look at the monthly. You're into this VAP zone. Like, I think it's going to get tired up here. Now, it doesn't mean it couldn't go a little higher, but, we talk about this all the time about volume price analysis, the candle showing wicks as you get tired. Look at these long wicks on the monthly. Wick, wick, wick. Is this going to be a wick? If I had to put money on it, I would absolutely short it, because I think that's what's going to be, is a wick. Same thing with the XOP. I'll start on the monthly, because again, that's where every swing trade starts for me. Where are we at? The old IPO price. We're at the 0.382. We're at resistance. Last month was a doji What are we doing? Making a lower high, potentially a lower low? Look at the volume. Like, there should be accumulation. Now watch what happens if it turns over. It's going to turn into distribution. But Dan, oil service is the future. At the lows, you son of a bitches who yell it and scream the loudest, we're saying oil is done. Oil is over. Oil is the era of oil is over. That's how these chicken little mofos are. I mean, I see them all the time in the Discord room or on Twitter. At the highs, they couldn't be more bullish. At the lows, they can't be more bearish. They literally are the suckers. And guess what? We get up in to fill the gap. NH, aka Eric, had a good call. He said, look at it, filled the gap, and notice the action today. Let's zoom in. We talked about this all day. Like, you had the anomalies, and then no volume. You had the opening, and they immediately sold it, and then you rallied it up on nothing, and then again, nothing. I mean, it's really hard sometimes to try to predict this near term, but it just seems obvious. You know, if oil is going lower, isn't the XOP coming down with it? I mean, I recommend it. Hey, you should buy some drip. 100 shares, just do something. Pay attention to this. So, but what do we know for a fact? Options expiration, things could get choppy. This could play out quickly or could play out slowly. We don't have what I would consider confirmation, right? Because the XOP did close technically at the high. But keep in mind, what has it done every time it's gotten to a lower high? Slam. Slam. Are we going to be in a slam or are we going to be in a nice soft pullback? At this point, if you're not looking at the monthly, you really kind of just got tunnel vision in on the short-term stuff. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know, you can argue all you want. Near term, I don't really care. The risk is worth the reward. This just came, look at this. Again, we talk about smooth channels and then the breakout of the smooth channels, typically the top. Well, I think we did it. I think we blew out of the top, y'all. I hope you see that. And again, look back at the USO action today. Back testing the old smooth channel highs. And then engulfing bar, tweezer top, whatever you want to call it. Gap and trap. Here's that little, here's the gap. There's the trap. Here's the gap. There's the trap. Here's the one day, I guess you have multiple day gap. Trap, gap, trap, gap, trap. You're getting the point here. Oops, sorry. You're getting the point here. No reason to beat this with a, you know, beat the dead horse. Keep in mind what's going on. Don't get too excited. Now, again, if you are looking to short the market, please short extremes. If you are looking to buy dips, buy extremes. I am personally, near term, I'm kind of agnostic because I know internally the market can do a VIX termination. However, I am extremely bearish oil. Don't get that twisted, because I think one of the things that the market could do and key off of, it could actually go higher if oil pulls back. Why? Because oil is the biggest culprit of inflation. And the market might get excited for a minute, a day, a week, shit, 2 weeks. I don't know. But again, that's why I'm going to stick to shorting oil. The stuff that I have, Apple, Qs, AMD, is from higher prices. And I've taken a lot of the risk off. So I'm playing with house money. That stuff, again, I'll talk about it if I enter it. I need to, honestly, I need to liquidate some oil before I even think about shorting some of the other stuff. And guess what? I probably will. When oil bottoms, maybe it's time to short tech. See how I'm always trying to stay one step ahead of the markets, trying to predict the action based on the action, not predicting the action based on my wants and needs, fears, and emotions. All right. Talk to you guys and gals later. Have a great day. Be safe. Be smart. Always have stops. Always have a plan. Hit me up. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.